Hey, what's up, family? Welcome to the Brandon L. Holmes YouTube channel, and I'm so glad that you guys are tuning in today. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button and leave some comments in the comment box. We'd love to have dialogue. I want to start off with the story. I actually shared this on my social media platforms, but it was this time I was in, I think I was in seventh or eighth grade, and at the time my family we lived in Detroit, Michigan. With my parents, literally, we were big Pistons fans, and I remember my mom picking me up from school with my dad in the car, and I was like, Dad, we should really go to the Pistons games because some of my friends were talking about how they were going, and my dad was like, yeah, maybe we should. And then my mom goes, hey, you should pray to God about getting tickets, and I like made fun of her completely. I was like, there's no way that God cares about me getting Pistons tickets. Like that doesn't make sense. That doesn't align. God cares about the homeless. He cares about the oppressed. He cares about the disenfranchised. He does not care about the kid that goes to private school that wants Pistons tickets. And it was just super kind of ignorant of me, and I'm poking fun of my mom the entire time. And literally what happens is the day of the game comes and my dad tells me that morning, it's like, hey, I need you to come with me. I have to guest preach at a church. And man, I'm telling you, I was furious. I was so upset because for the fact of the matter is simply this, is that I just wanted to watch the game, and I begged my dad, like, Dad, please don't make me go. I just really want to watch the game. And my dad over and over was like, you have to go to church with me, son. And so we're driving out, and at the time, the Pistons played in Auburn Hills, which is quite a ways away outside the city. And so we're driving out, and I'm seeing all the signs that are like, hey, welcome to the first playoff series and whatever, how long it's been, this way to get to the game, this way to get to the game. And we pull off to the side of the road, and there's literally a gas station that's right across the street from the stadium. And my dad pulls into the gas station and goes, hey, I have to go to the ATM to get money for the offering bucket. And so he's like, you sitting there? And I remember just sitting there looking like, man, maybe if I would have just prayed, I might be going to the game. So my dad gets in the car and he's like, hey, son, let's talk about this. He goes, you made fun of your mom for her saying that you should pray to God for tickets. What you need to understand is nothing's too big for God, nothing's too small for God. God cares about everything that you care about because He loves you so much. But there comes a time when you have a lack of faith, and this is when other people's faith steps in the gap for them, and He pulls out tickets. And He doesn't just pull out any tickets, He has floor seats. And I'll never forget that story because it was just such an incredible moment for me and a realization of how our faith can bless other people. I think about the man in the Bible, the friend that was sick, whose friends climbed onto a roof and said, man, we're going to get this healing for you. And I think about that man a lot of times where he probably had tried all kind of things from doctors to maybe witchcraft, maybe sorcerers, whatever. I'm sure when you have been sick or paralyzed as long as he could, he wanted to try everything possible. And I'm sure his faith was defeated. And I'm sure when he got to the front door and when his friend said, we're going to get you to this man that can heal you, I'm sure he felt discouraged again. But his friends had to say this. Today is the day that our faith is bigger than yours, and we believe you can get this healing. And they do what it takes. They climb to the top of the roof and they drop them down in the middle of someone's house so that Jesus could heal them. And I think sometimes we forget about that as believers, that our walk with Christ, our journey, I like to say the pilgrimage of following Christ, is really, sometimes I think in Western culture, is so focused on us and what we want and how God can bless us, when the true heart of what we should be about is how can we use our faith to bring kingdom to earth? How can we use our faith to be a blessing to other people? I heard someone say this the other day, the true mark of revival is restoration. And so that means restoration when there's tension between socioeconomic groups, restoration when there's tension between racial groups, restoration when the sick are being taken care of by those who have it, that the people who are down are being prayed for by the people who have an abundance of faith. And that's the thing that I think as believers we really need to focus on, is we need to focus on the fact that God has called us to live a life that is not about us, but a life of humble service that serves, prays, and does more for others. And yes, what I think we forget to realize is how fulfilling that actually is when you pray or when you do for others, because that is what we have been called to do. And so one of the things I really want us to focus on as believers moving forward is ask yourself this in your prayer time: are my prayers more about me, or I'm spending more of my time praying about the things that God wants to do as He wants to bring heaven to earth, not just for myself, but for other people? So let's be the type of people. Let's be the type of people prayerfully standing in the gap for other people, because you never know how your faith can be a blessing to someone else. Hopefully that helps you today. Drop your comments below. Would love to know what you think. Until next time, I love you. Take care. Subscribe, like, and be blessed.